The Chaotic Grind Show. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Chaotic Grind Show. I am your host, Mike Mahaffey, and this is the number one episode of the Chaotic Grind Show. So, with that being said, today is basically just an introduction of what the show's all about, and maybe a little bit of who I am. Well, I'll start off with who I am. I'm an electrical contractor. I've been in business for 7 years, and I've been at it for a while. I've been an electrician since I was 18. I went to school for it right out of high school. Then got a job, did residential work for a long time, and started to go out on my own. Was doing a little bit of work, and then we had the wonderful crash of 2008. And when that happened, I think I pushed through it till 2010, somewhere, so like 2010, something like that. I got in the oil field, and I had an opportunity, and I took it. Me and my one buddy, who will probably be a co-host on the show here and there. So me and him went out to this class. We found this free CCAC class which is a community college, that had this free class because it was brand new, and one of the companies was sponsoring it. And we did the class, and then it was 2 weeks, and I got in with the oil field, did that for about 5 years. It was a pretty good decision. It was a good, it was different. It was definitely different than being an electrician. I went out and I worked on a rig. Worked my way up to being a derrick hand, and things started getting slow. I kind of didn't. It wasn't that I loved my job. I didn't like the little politics that was going on with everything. It was all up and down. And one day they stacked out our rig, which basically laid us off. And I decided to quit. And then I just quit. I was flipping a house at the time, and I said, no, I'm not going back. Quit the job. And immediately got some insurance, started my business back up, and I was an electrician again. And then I just took off running from there and been doing it ever since. We're not a big company. It's MJM Electrical Contracting. We're just me and another guy. We go around, we do kitchens, high-end homes, whatever. We do anything. And it's fun. It's cool. And so that's my business end of it. I mean, that's what I do. I just wire shit up. Now I do a podcast. And the podcast, the idea of this came, whenever COVID hit, there was some restrictions. I mean, I was able to work. But my wife, she was a diabetic, so she still is a diabetic. She wasn't. Whenever COVID hit, and they said diabetics are pretty acceptable, so I didn't work. I kind of took it easy for a month, and then, once we realized everything was a bunch of bullshit, and I eventually worked again, but this whole time I'm sitting there thinking, this is crazy to think Like everything that I rely on is my electrical business, and I want another stream of revenue. And the podcast is not the other stream of revenue. If you want to contribute to it, that's all right with me. I'd help out. This is stuff isn't free to do, but I'm trying to make it as pleasant as possible for you, the listener. And so I started thinking about it, and I was like, well, what if we just start selling American-made stuff? And I know other people are doing it, but what if we find actual companies that want to sell through us rather than try to go through the bigger platforms, which probably charge a lot more, and without the fees of Amazon and whatever people sell through. So that's what we're trying to start. I'm working on a website. I got a website. It's thechaoticgrind.com. And I think I'm going to start selling stuff on there. I got some guys that want to sell stuff on there. So once that gets going a little bit, then we'll start making this. I'm starting this from the ground up. This is nothing that I'm experiencing. I don't know how to make websites. I have no clue. I really don't know what I'm doing with a podcast. I bought the equipment. I watched some videos, and yeah, so now I got some stuff. I built a little studio, and I'm running with it. So if you're interested, if you have a product that you want to sell, let me know. Thechaoticgrindshow@gmail.com. You can email me, and we want to do some reviews. We'll start getting some videos out there and do some fun stuff, and it'll be entertaining. So that is what kind of got the podcast here, is the idea of selling American-made stuff. And then I was like, well, it'd be great if I can promote it with my own podcast show. And at the same time, I could maybe help people get through their little struggles they had through the business. And then you guys could, at the same time, you could see a business grow. I mean, this is literally nothing. I started from nothing, and we're going to build this up, and we'll see where it goes. And if you want to follow it, that's great. Follow the show. And so if you've got a product and you want to sell it, we'll review it. I'll see if it's a good product. One, I don't want to sell nothing crappy, and I don't want to have to deal with returns and everything else. So get a hold of me, and we'll go from there. Second, there's a lot that goes into running a business. I mean, it's somewhat easy to start up. It's somewhat hard. I mean, there's a lot of crap that you got to go through, and a lot of, I don't know. If you own a business, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's crazy. If you want it, you'll do it. You'll figure out the answers. You'll go through, and you'll go step by step. Find the people you need to talk to, accountants, whatever you needed, the taxes, whatever you don't know how to do is who you should probably contact someone that knows what they're talking about. And that's kind of what I want to do, is help people get through them steps. Maybe I get an accountant on here. Maybe my accountant will come on. I don't know. And as far as, so if you want to start a business and follow the show, maybe we'll throw some pointers out there, maybe that can help you out. If you're in construction, it'll probably definitely help you out, because that's what I'm in, and that's what I know. I do have a lot of construction buddies out. They want to come on the show, explain the pretty interesting characters. I mean, they seen a lot, done a lot, and very knowledgeable human beings, and hopefully I get them to share their knowledge with you. so as far as business, that's how that goes. And then another thing is I would like to try to get my wife involved. Like I said earlier, she's a type 1 diabetic, and she has been since she was a kid. And she suffered from multiple problems caused by the diabetes. And she pushed through them all, and we got married. We've been married 5, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. No, we've been married since 2014. And we just had our first baby, and we were pretty much, before we had the baby, we weren't thinking we were going to be able to have a baby. She tried to do a lot of different things to help the process of having a baby, like make sure we could have a baby safely and make sure everybody's healthy and everything. And she ended up getting an insulin pump, and we ended up, her sugars got better and everything was fine. And then one day, she says, I'm pregnant. And it was the best day, scary day, because instantly we're just like scared and happy at the same time. And then we ended up running down to the hospital, and the women at the hospital, it was like a party in the room. I didn't know what we were going to walk into. They were like, everybody was so happy. It was just a good day. Seeing her little heartbeat on the monitor. And now we had the baby in 8 months ago, and now she's good. She's thriving. She was premature 2 months. That was scary. That sucked. That whole time my wife had to go to the hospital early. She had preeclampsia, and if anyone don't know what that is, it's I guess you just swell up, you get a bunch of water in you, and they take the baby. They don't take it from you. They make you deliver. And it happens at all, I guess, different stages during the pregnancy. And ours happened to be, I think she was 24 weeks along whenever we went to the hospital, and they didn't let her leave until she delivered, which was 29 weeks. So it was pretty scary when we got there. It sucked. But McGee Women's Hospital, they are phenomenal. If you're in Pittsburgh, or Pennsylvania, that is where you should go. They had no hesitation as to what they were talking about. Like they were not scared to tell you the bad news, or like anything that could happen, may or may not happen. They were like, when they were talking to you, like they were on point. Like they did not stutter. Like there was no hesitation of like, I'm scared to tell you this, or we really don't know what we're doing. No, there was none of that. It was like every single one of them been through, like they seen it all. It was amazing. And they really gave us a peace of mind. But anyways, that whole part of our lives was pretty shitty. And then when the baby was born, she came out, she was 3 pounds. Then she went down to 2.7 pounds. Then then she just started growing, but she had to go through a bunch of different issues, lung issues, and then some other stuff. It was like a 2-month process, and now she is perfect little girl. But so that's that. And then during that whole time we were in the hospital, because my wife was in the hospital for like 2 months, and we were literally you're just bored. You're just sitting there, and I like lived there with her, because we never knew when we were going to have the baby. It was just like a day by day. I couldn't leave her hanging there. So I'd go to work when I could, but anyways, we were sitting there, and then the podcast idea, I'm like, well, I'll start a podcast. Do this business idea, this online store, American made. And we were sitting there and then trying to come up with names, and that's where the Chaotic Grind came from, was while we were in the hospital. I'm sitting there thinking, what can I name it? What can I name it? What can I name it? I went through scenarios, like different. The whole process was just thinking the whole time. Just writing down names. I'm like, nah, there's no, this one sounds bad, this one sounds bad. Everything with America in it cost you $50,000 for a domain name. So then one day my wife was sitting there and she was like, "Thechaotic Grind." I'm like, what? Thechaotic Grind. I was like, I like it. I was like, because if you know me, I have like ADD, and when my mind starts running, it's chaos. And while business could be chaotic, you could have months, just every day, chaos. Just phone won't stop ringing. There's problems here, problems there. You got to go fix all these things. Everybody needs you at one time. And you don't believe me? Try it. It's chaotic. And it kind of fit me. It just rang a bell, and we went with it. And that's where we got the name The Chaotic Grind Show. Now the store, I would like to try to maybe name it, once it gets up and running, name it something completely different, because The Chaotic Grind doesn't sound like a show or a store. It sounds like a show. It sounds like our show, and that's what it is. So if you like what you're hearing, if you think this is something you're going to like, just stay tuned. We'll have plenty more to come. This is just an introduction. I'm brand new to this. I really have never continuously talked into a microphone before, and especially by myself. This is really weird. I'm talking to no one. I'm just sitting in this room talking to a microphone and kind of just going off of what I want to say. And so if it sounds stupid, it's probably does. But I just wanted to get it kicked off, get it going, and hopefully I could bring you guys some content here pretty soon. Got some ideas lined up, got some people we could bring in. Maybe I'll bring in the co-host, and then we'll introduce them, get them. That'll probably be the first few shows, and then after that, we'll be on a roll. So, feel free to share, follow. You probably won't see me too much on social media right now. I gotta do all that. The stuff takes a lot of time. Do I want to make 100 different profiles on Facebook and Instagram and everything? I kind of do, but right now I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna. The content, what am I gonna do? Put this show on, and then that's it. And then you gotta wait. I don't have a lot of the time to do that right now. Maybe in the future we'll start getting all that going. But so right now we're playing it by ear, word of mouth. It's the best way. It's how I grew my business, and that's how we'll grow this one. So, with that being said, I'm signing out for today, and look forward to doing this again. Goodbye.